گەنجانی تینو بە کوردستان، تینو بە ئازادی، تینو بە هەموو جوانیەکانی مرۆڤایەتی.
I'm here talking on behalf of the Regay Azadi Organization for Kurdish community and Halab community, our concern, and also
to... Thank you for inviting me here today. Genders, 10 different voices, 15 different opinions.
Because he was talking about the history of Kurdish, that the agreement of the Lausanne and Sykes-Picot between France and UK.
I don't want to talk about any other nationality, but we are very clearly see that if I bring you some sample other nationality.
گەنجانی تینو بە کوردستان، تینو بە ئازادی، تینو بە هەموو جوانیەکانی مرۆڤایەتی. ئێمە لێرەین بۆ پشتگیری کورد، لێرەین بۆ ئەوەی کە بڵێین ئێمە هەمیشە لە هەوڵی ئەوە داین دۆستی کورد زیاتر بکەین و دۆستی کوردمان زیاتر بێنە کوردیش کمیونیتیەکانەوە. ئەمڕۆ بە خۆشحاڵیەوە ڕێکخراوی ڕۆشنبیرانی کورد ناوەندی پەنابەری و ناوەندی کوردستانیان لەگەڵ ڕێکخراوی ڕێگەی ئازادی تاکە ڕێکخراوە جوانەکەی کوردستانیان لێرە کە هەموو گەنجان بەڕاستی ئومێدیان پێیەتی. هیوادارم ئەو ئومێدە هەرگیز نەکوژێتەوە. خۆشەویستان، مستەر تاهیر ئەمڕۆ لێرە یەکێکە لە ئەندام پەرلەمانە کاریگەرەکانی نێو پەرلەمان، یەکێکە لەو ئەندام پەرلەمانانەی کە ئەندامە لە پارتی لەیبە. پارتی لەیبە یەکێکە لەو پارتانەی کە دوای 14 ساڵ توانی دەست بەسەر دەسەڵاتی حکومڕانی بەریتانیا بکرێ.
And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sirwan Fattah. I am truly honored to be here serving as a host today. And also, I'm here talking on behalf of the Regay Azadi Organization and Kurdish Curiosity. So, we are trying to make a deep talk about some theme today. And also, our aim today to build a meaningful bridge communication between Kurdish community and members of parliament who represent us today. And also it's a great privilege to welcome our guest, Mr. Tahir Ali. So the first question will be, as member of parliament, how can you act as a strong voice for Kurdish community and Halab community, our concern, and also to relevant ministers?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you for inviting me here today. And it's such a big gathering here today. So I would thank my brother Sara for the kind invitation, because I've known him for many years. The constituency I represent does not have a lot of Kurdish community living there.
Yeah.
I believe there's a lot of Kurdish community living in Handref.
Yeah.
And maybe West Brom, but there's other areas across the UK. So how can I be a strong voice?
Yeah.
I can only be a strong voice if the community is united and they've got a strong voice. If the community got 10 different agendas, 10 different voices, 15 different opinions, like most things happen in most communities, then you will all be diluted. There won't be a strong voice. So that strong voice can only come when the community approaches their local MPs with a single voice and prioritizes its key concerns. So you might have 101 issues, but what are the top 3 issues?
Do you have any plans to support the Kurdish language, particularly in schools and Kurdish community centers that provide education for Kurdish children?
Look, I'm a Kashmiri myself,
Yeah.
and I support all languages. When I was a counsellor, one of the primary schools in my school had 32 different languages spoken, because these are the wonderful, vibrant community that we serve. Birmingham itself has got a strong they've got a strong bond between different communities coming together, supporting them. So the Kurdish language is here to stay as long as the Kurdish community keep it going. So supporting it is not an issue. Not only will I support the Kurdish language, but earlier today I was looking at my diary for Parliament, and I think on Wednesday we've got the Bangladesh Language Day being celebrated in Parliament. So let's get the Kurdish language up and running and get a celebration.
As a Kurdish, we have like a specific day to celebrate our language, but like we want to make it like international around the world. So the question I can ask in different ways that, so is it numbers are important for being like celebrating as a language? For example, you know, you see sometimes in the community you see like a 5 million people. At the same time you see in some countries like Croatia or other places there are 4 million, 3 million, they have everything. But at the same time you find out the Kurdish people, we have like almost 15 million people, so we have nothing. So how can you like describe that?
Again, that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, I come from Kashmir. We don't have a voice. People see us as Pakistani Kashmiris or Indian Kashmiris. But Kashmir existed 5,000 years ago, before even India and Pakistan existed. But at the moment, what they're saying is it's a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan, and we say no, it isn't. It's the right of the Kashmiri people to determine it, but you're no different to where we are. But it's a struggle, and we've got to keep that hope and that light shining. Ibrahim Douglas, 6-7 years ago, and I've kept in constant contact with him in Parliament. Only I think about 6 weeks ago I met him.
Yes.
And we was talking about the Kurdish people not only in Iraq but in Syria, in Turkey, in Iran. So you spread over. Meet with John Slinger, who's the chair of the Kurdish region APPG. Get him to get in touch with the Speaker's office, and let's celebrate the Kurdish language and the contribution of the Kurdish people that they've made in the UK. That will put you on the map. Ibrahim Douglas is very strong on these things, and he's got a very strong media team behind him as well, because some of his videos he does are fantastic.
I have also our parliaments applying pressure on the Home Office to properly consider the political and security situation in Iraq and the Kurdistan region when assessing asylum claims?
Personally, I'm not aware of it, but that doesn't mean others haven't done it. If there is pressure that is being applied, it's been done quietly.
Yeah.
And the Home Office with the Foreign Office, they have a lot of activities happening behind the scenes. Who's the minister for the Kurdish region? We need to find out, and you need to engage with that, and they will give you all the activities that are happening. I've got a friend, Miran, who is part of the Labour Middle East Council.
Yeah.
He arranged a visit to Kurdistan region. Well, he was arranging a visit which I was going to be part of.
Can the UK Parliament play a role encouragement the Iraqi government to fully implement construction, provision and financial rights relating to the Kurdish region?
The UK can put pressure on, but because you've got sovereign governments now, the decision will be of individual governments to implement what the Kurdish people want or not. But certainly you can have the ear of the British government and the Foreign Office in applying that Consul General, and he was telling me how there's some peace agreement between the Kurdish and the Iraqis, and things are moving positively. Now that's a positive step, because step by step then you're going to make a huge difference, and I hope that positive movement continues and it doesn't get derailed by, usually it gets derailed, what I've noticed in Kashmir is it gets derailed by a few fanatic people that doesn't want to see peace, but you've got to be able to have peace and a proper voice for the Kurdish people.
We call it Big Kurdistan. We don't call it like Afro Kurdistan. We call it Big Kurdistan because Kurd from Iran, Iraq, Turkey, we call it like one Kurd, one Big Kurdistan. So inshallah we would like to, in the future, to you and your other colleagues to come here so we can extend this kind of like a topics and talking about the more topics about the more situation that unfortunately we have like a short period of time, so we cannot like run over all the questions.
You've got 650 MPs and you've got about 800 members of the Lords. Is to have maybe once a month a information sheet, single sheet, giving the facts about Kurdistan, so we can read it. If you give me a report that's 20 pages long, that's going to sit on my desk and other things will go on top of it and I won't. So simple fact sheets, right? And you've got very talented people here in your community as well. And if they can get something, it doesn't need to be fancy. You can just email it out as an information and it will get read. But the minute it gets longer than one page, it'll get lost. That's why I do it on a monthly basis, but don't do it every day because that will get lost as well.
من باس يوم كركا إما شون أتواني دني إما بقعد بپەرلەمانتارە كان أو لركنوكا أبو براني كتينا كان أو هيك يو بيستكا بردوام همو مانيك فايلك حاضر بكن تسبارت بهر کێشەیەکە بێ لە کوردستانە ئەتوانن ئێوە هەموو مانگێک بینێن لەسەرەکە ئەو فایلانە کە بە بەردەوامی هێتە بەردەستی ئێمە ڕۆژە دوورەسەرۆژ هەر وەڵامە درێتەوە بەڵام ئەگەر بێت و تۆ هەر تاخیری بکەیت و 6 مانگ جارێک و 7 مانگ جارێک شتێک بنێری ئەڵێ لەسەر مێزەکەی منە بێت و کەسێری ناکات و کەسێک
How can Kurdish women
who wish to enter the workforce and engage in the social civic life in the UK and a better support?
There's many programs that are available, whether it's English as a second language, whether it's learning skills, because women have barriers with childcare and often they like to access work or business opportunities around their childcare needs. So what we're going to do is in Birmingham I created a women's enterprise hub on Ladypool Road, eventually to help women get into the work, participate in civic life. You need to have that done in West Brom, Sandwell Council, meet the councillors, meet the council leaders, meet the leadership team and say these are the needs, we need help. They will reach out and make sure, because sitting at home does not do anyone any good. It doesn't do the economy any good. It doesn't do the health and well-being of the individual any good. And the more women we can get involved in businesses, entrepreneurs, in education, in academia, even in sport.
This is about like a human security. So what can Parliament do to reduce the long-waited times the asylum seekers endure during the decision-making process?
You'll know there's a lot of right-wing, far-right people that are anti-immigrants. What we've got to do is say immigration has a very positive role to play. If you look at some of the Kurdish people, whether they're doing car washes, whether they're repairing cars, whether they're running businesses, a lot of this work some of the host community don't do. And there's a vacuum and there's a gap there. And often these people will put 12, 15 hours a day to make the businesses successful of this country. And that's what we need. And you're a law-abiding community, and you need to make sure that there's no unnecessary or undue delays in the immigration process, because that then impacts not only on the community, but economically it impacts on the country as well. Yeah. So anything that we can do to speed up that process, we will work with the community to do that. Yeah. But the rules are the rules, right?
That's true.
And we're going to make sure that the rules are fair, they're accommodating, and they're not an obstacle, and they're not there to delay applications or processes.
The psychological impact of restriction on work and education for asylum seekers is significant. Are there any proposal to review these limitations?
There's the immigration white paper out for consultation. It's important that you as an organisation feed into that. The specifics I'm not aware of. But in Parliament we have early day motions, we have backbench debates, we have the 10-minute rule bills we can use each one of them to introduce awareness and make sure that the Home Office listens to the concerns of all communities.
Would you be willing to support the establishment of the all-party of Parliament group and specifically focus on the Kurdish issues?
It's already been established. So what I'll do is I'll write to John Slinger and I'll become a member of the all-party parliamentary group. I won't be an officer because we only allowed 6 APPGs where we can be officers, but I'll happily be a member. But if there's one thing that I would say to you is keep on inviting different MPs here, but give them maybe an introduction in terms of what the issues are, because a lot of us are not aware. I have to rush today, but I will come back maybe in 2-3 months' time. August is usually good for us because we're away from Parliament, so we can spend a bit more time with the community. And if there's any community events that you hold, whether it's open days or in the parks where you have a fun day where you put up an event for all the communities to come together, I'll happily come and be part of that.
He's like a disabled man, so he wants to what kind of support he can get as a human being here, other than that he's a disabled. So what kind of support he can
get? It depends
get?
what specific support you need, whether if it's caring needs or whether it's support into work or whether it's making sure that you work ready, because being in a wheelchair should not be a restriction in terms of you leading a life which participates in society.
I think we are all, as a Kurdish people, heartbroken from nowadays what is going on in social media. That any single man or woman here left their own country, Kurdistan regions, is because of their dignity. So, which is the main important things according to our
When my parents first came to this country, there used to be signs on windows which said, "No Irish, no blacks, no dogs." And these perceptions, we've got to be part of society to change. And in every society, there'll be bad people, but these are not that represent all the society, because they are very, very small minority, 0.0001%. Right? And we've got to work together in making sure that their negative thinking and bias, unconscious bias, is broken down.
بيجيكي طالما هي لا بتايبتي لستصار الرابطو لا اتفاقي ساكس بيكوة تا اتفاقي لوزان قالي كود دواي اويك لا اتفاقي لوزان بداخوا غدري شي زور قول لا قالي كود كلا لا روي مجوا كود ابشكرا هو روبري كور كوجيبوا بشكل كيمياء لا كودرا وانفال كده وبينتكم يتكان من برشاون قوتوا هذا صالي بسيارة كلير ذا أويا برايتو شون دك هيزكي آزادي خوازي وكو كورد كحسدا للشردك لبو آزادي بتواني بخلية جير كيفي دستالاتي شي جهادي تنضرو.
Because he was talking about the history of Kurdish, that the agreement of the Lausanne and Sykes-Picot between France and UK, all the countries for dividing Kurdish in 4 parts. So the question was that is, as you see that Kurdish people, they were bravely fight against ISIS in 2014 until the end of the 2017 until the end of the ISIS. Kurdish were fighting very well. So he was trying to mention that so now is the president of the Syria is one of the member of the ISIS. So how come the UK government are not aware of he was his name is mentioned as a terrorist. Now he's become a well-respected president, and also at the same time he's trying to invade.
Pretend to answer that question, because only the foreign minister can answer them questions, because I'm not aware of the facts, right? But what the British government does, you need to have that dialogue with the foreign minister, and I hear what you say loud and clearly, right? I've got, like I said, I come from Kashmir, and what's happening in Indian occupied Kashmir is no different to what's happening in Syria now with the Kurdish people. But why have they signed a free trade agreement?
Yeah.
Right. These are the questions that still need answering. Right. But for the interest, remember, the UK will always put its own interest first. No ifs, no buts. Right. And if it's in the interest of the UK, then that'll be high up in the agenda.
Finally, thank you for coming here, and we really appreciate it. We want to spend more time with you and understand more, and we cover more topics.
شهر الخير والبركة والإحسان مرحبا 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 أيا شهر التراويح والتسبيح والتهليل وتلاوة القرآن مرحبا فتحت فيك أبواب الجنان وغلقت فيك أبواب النيران